everyone, this is the second Larry game of the Horus Moneybags tournament. I'm not sure which game in total is. I think this is the fourth game. And what we have today, or this night, whatever, is Exodus on Elves, Protosser on Cardolan, New on Arphidane, and Terror for Western Gondor. Meanwhile, we do have Toby as Yes on Misty Mountains, and what are the others? Let's see. Kexelis on Amar and Fate on EM. This is just a kind of a one-off game as part of the Moneybags game weekend. And what are we seeing as our openers right now? Looks pretty standard, honestly. Toby's actually going for E-Halls, which I forget when's the last time he did that. I think this is pretty common, actually. Exo does come in to respawn. Meanwhile, we do have Terror going in for or not Aaronborn, Drive Your first, interestingly enough. Toby up here. Going in for North Downs. Not too much like super special stuff. Kind of a very standard opener, I would say, for this game. We do see a bit of aggression by Kexelis on Western Brudar here. And we also see a bit of aggression on Trollshaw's standard Cardolan opening. We do see, okay, now this is an interesting one. Witch King empowerment for this game. Kexelis is going for Witch King empowerment and actually opting for a, if you are playing this game, please leave this chat because I am now saying some sensitive information. I will wait 5 seconds for you to either mute yourself, or deafen yourself, I mean. What I will be doing, not what I am doing, sorry, I'm like mixing up my words. What Hex is doing here is a bit of a new strategy. It is a ram into... Oh, let me deafen Toby for him. Server deafen. Or no, let me just... Oh, can I like... Crap, I can't like... Okay, next, once the game's over, I'll like unserver deafen him. But what we're seeing here is actually a Goblin Hordes build for Kexelis. He's rushing that 8 extra mass in order to really hyper charge his early game. Although I am kind of curious how he's managed to actually afford that so early. Isn't that like 4K, then you have like 3K for an empowerment? Wait, how did he manage to afford that? Well, now I'm really confused. Isn't Goblin... Oh, wait, no, that's for the gas. Right, I'm stupid. Okay. He didn't actually get the mineral upgrade yet. I was, like, really confused for a second there. That's just for the gas lock for the path you want.
Yeah, we see this big, weird 3 at Central for some reason.
Yeah, indeed, we are seeing 3 at Central. This is an interesting one. Protosser, Terror, and Exodus going in. Trying to, I guess, do an early siege of Enidwife. Maybe going for Wild Plains. Meanwhile here, Kexelis over here, trying to strip out as many cannons over here by Western Brudar as he can before he goes in for that 6-minute push. Actually, I don't think he's been banking his mass, so he actually doesn't have the 6-minute. Now, it does seem like a lot of Amars nowadays are going for the Gram Gas on top of an Empowered. It's very, very common. A lot of people are saying it's pretty overtuned. I would say it's probably a little bit on the overpowered side, but it doesn't seem to be anything that's like completely warps games around it. But it does make a lot of Amar games now very spicy because there's such a stake on the frontal spawns like that. Now, what we also are seeing is kind of like a development of the Witch King Empowered playstyle, where people are really starting to learn how to play with Empowered Witch King. Lots of people going in and really trying to utilize that splash damage to its highest potential. Often like actually targeting mass with it instead of any heroes. I think it's become kind of like an unintended or like unexpected, maybe not unintended, but unexpected like mass skill actually, just because of how consistent it is. Western Rudar does now go down to that Witch King empowered Angmar. Meanwhile, we do see a double over here on Western Gondor. Any ARBs in the area to defend? And nope, none whatsoever. We do have ARB kind of in the area, but New is not moving it right now. So Terror is all by himself trying to defend this. Now, the mass cover for Evil here is being stripped pretty rapidly, so they might not actually have to. But wait, what is this? Left Nui is being gassed by Terror. What is this? And that's the second gas, I'm pretty sure. Is he trying to go for a delayed auto? That's an interesting one.
That
I'm not
might
sure
be
if
the
this is just
play.
like the... It could be the play, but like if... I don't... Did he call this out at all? Because if he did not call this out, this is a very, this could be a very, misguided thing. Because now he just spawned there, they saw the 3 units, they know it's gas, they know he's going for like a sneaky, what's it called bait? Autonomy bait. So, I think they're going to put a big emphasis on trying to finish it off. Where his team's arbs, New is moving over, so I think now what he wants to do is go loud with Autonomy ASAP and try and see if he can grab that 3rd gas and the upgrade. But like the thing is though, like left Nui attacks by Evil are pretty common anyways, despite like Autonomy. So like when you do this, you're like risking a good 50% chance that it just dies anyways, and now you just like screw yourself even more than if you just like gas Autonomy or went Autonomy and gas immediately anyways. And they're also killing M on Laha as well. They like know he's gonna be going Autonomy soon. And still he has not gotten it. What is the play here? Does he just want to gas left Nui by itself? I'm really confused what he's trying to do. Especially since like if he buys Autonomy halfway through, the time saving doesn't apply until he refreshes it, just like the engine limitation. Very interested to see like what the Koreans are trying to do here. Ooh, that is a big dive. Kexlis decides to not pursue though. He thinks he won't be able to pursue successfully. Probably correct because all those here still had like 700 or so HP. Meanwhile, we do see a double on Minhiraf, but Protosser is not trying for a Tarkill build this game, it seems. He's going for Airborne first as well. Company of Starline Mercenaries has been hired. EXO is going to team up over here to maybe try and siege down Enidwife early. And meanwhile, Amon Sul is being attacked over here by Exilus. Sorry, I almost said EXO. Force of Habit. What is happening with this position? I'm like a little bit confused just by like what Good is trying to achieve by going for like this western like central attack path. And now Autonomy comes out. Here's the thing though, like left Nui's half gassed, it's not going to immediately finish. That's like not how it works.
He restarted the gas, he canceled the gas and started it again. Yeah,
I think like he like didn't realize that. Like he didn't realize it doesn't apply retroactively. So now he's like, he has 360 seconds, I believe, so that's 6 minutes to defend this for. New is in the area, of course, so they might be able to actually see this get off, but it's 12-minute mark. He's now getting Autonomy. He's like way weaker than he otherwise would be. I really don't think this is the play with Autonomy. You just like lose so much time, it's better to take that risk because now they're going in on Orphank. He has to leave left Nui, and that gives Evil potentially a blank check to just end the entire presence of Western Gondor. Like, he did this, Orphank's gonna die, left Nui is also gonna die. Even if he does get the upgrade off, he'll be like 3 spawn a cycle, 4 mass a cycle, I think. I don't really see the value like equation here. Bait is moving his ARB over to try and deny left Nui here. He definitely signaled that he's trying to go for this to Evil. Now he has a chance of getting this, especially if New's in the area, but he's keeping his ARB kind of far away. He also did move over here to try and chase off Misty Mountains. Where's the Fate ARB? Fate's actually moving his ARB up north. They're not going for left Nui. I'm not actually sure if they know it's left Nui gas then. I'd assume they noticed, but I think they might be going for Fornos instead. But a lot of the cannons here haven't been stripped yet, so this is kind of an overextension. They are now going for the cannons, of course. EXO is in the area to kind of chase them off, though, so I don't think this double is going to be doing all that much. Meanwhile, we do see a Cause of Doom gas. I'm not quite sure what Fate's trying to do. He is doing a Dunlin gas. He's actually going to go in for Orphank instead. And that is the angle that Evil's trying to go for. Oh, I forgot. This upgrade did not get reduced to 4 minutes. It is still 6 minutes. So, at 1640, we are going to see this pop off. So let's see if Evil actually notices this in time. Meanwhile, we are seeing Toby going in over here on Minhiraf instead of left Nui. It looks like Evil just isn't actually noticing left Nui, but that is going to be Franduil going down to the Toby focus. Exodus just recalling the ever so slightly bad position to let Franduil get exposed over there. And what else is happening over here? Orphank being gassed, Lefnui being gassed. Poby and Faye are in the area. They definitely have the time to finish Lefnui. We really want to be. Good has moved away their Arbs. New moved his Arb over to Orphank. This could be a mistake if they manage to deny actually a Lefnui. Especially if they notice the Droidine Warlock. It would be smart for Toro right now to try and hide that in case they have not actually noticed this Lefnui yet. Meanwhile, Protoss is actually going in on Dunlin, so he has correctly noticed which spawn EM is gassing, is going in on it. This is going to actually force a Fate response. Well, I say force, but he is going to provoke a Fate response. Terry War does kill that spy trying to check in on Lefnui, but I think he showed his Droidine Ritualist, I think. So they are going to notice, yep, the Lefnui gas. He is going to go in on Lefnui as Terror actually recalls out. This could be a deciding battle. Terror does actually recall back in. Iwindle actually dies in the north, but Gorkil gets chased down. Galadriel goes down in that fight as well. At almost the cost of Smaug, but not quite. Meanwhile, at Lefnui, Terror is actually facing down Fate and preventing him from actually going in on Lefnui. Fate does not have the power to single-handedly take out Lefnui right now. If Toby doesn't come in, this might actually go off. But Terror is taking a bit of a risk, actually going to the north, going in for that Scaffa triple. They might be getting it. Fate is not trying to deny Lefnui in the time he has. He instead recalls over to Fornos, tries to go for a counter double. That risk with Lefnui might be paying off for Terror. A bit of a delayed payoff for sure, but this is going to be Scaffa going down. Very nicely coordinated for good. Toby just does not have the strength or the HP to actually defend anything, but Glorfindel might be going down. Not quite. 50 HP left. What a close save on Glorfindel there. We do see Lefnui with 80 seconds left. No hints of a double on it. I think it is going to actually go off uncontested. At least not contested since it started being gassed, or like upgraded. Obviously, they did go in for Lefnui a little bit, but the standard like strategy of ignoring Lefnui to go for Pinif directly actually kind of bit Evil in the behind right there, because they weren't able to finish off Lefnui. I would still say that I don't really know. I'm not that convinced that like hiding the gas is a good idea regardless, but it's certainly paying off for Terror in this case, I guess. But is it even arguably a payoff because this is like so late in the game? I don't know.
Our allies' base is under attack. Our allies are being attacked.
Because also what we're noticing here, Fornos has died pretty early, possibly due to New having to rotate into Autonomy Gondor, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe yes, maybe no. Actually going for cash injection here as well, Terror is. And Dunlin is going to go down here. That is going to be the Fate gas denied. That's going to really impact Fate's presence in the game for the next like 10 or so minutes, 12 or so minutes. Droid Viewer is his follow-up gas. He actually has forgotten the medic over here. It got kind of lodged into the cannons over here. Minhiref does go down, but Cardolin is not actually going for his Minhiref build anyways, so still pretty bad for Cardolin. It does open up Evil Minhiref for Evil Min if he so wishes. With a Aaron gas, that's always quite dangerous. The lot Druidine, Fate might be tipped off about a Droid Viewer build. How didn't we deny Hideout? Elves Arb does go down to Kexalis. Let me write that down. Ornos, oh my gosh, that's a Ranger encampment buy. We haven't seen that in ages. And they are a bit faster because Benumnos is still alive. Now that they've noticed the Hideout, now Toby comes in and finishes it off. But it's a bit too little too late. They really did not actually notice this all game until it was too late for them. Interesting, interesting. Now, a lot of the strong autonomy mass from that spawn has died here, so it's still pretty bad for Terror. Like, it's not like he didn't lose anything for it, but that's 5 pretty strong units for the rest of this game. That Ritualist and Warlock go quite a long way, and like those 3 bodies, they add up. We add Kexalis to this list of ARP killers.
Our allies
Barbecue. Austin, the heal does get bought by Protosser after that relatively early Dunlin kill. Denies the possibility of a evil Ost for evil. Now he is gassing Tharbad to follow up. Meanwhile, we do see a little bit of focus up at Elven King's Halls. And that spawn is not going to go down. Celeborn being targeted over here, and Smaug also being targeted by elves. Exo losing Gala earlier does make, and Iwindle earlier does make his right click, especially against air heroes, pretty limited. New's actually down here defending Terror, interestingly enough. Where is Terror's gas, by the way? I'd expect him to finish maxing Orphank. That's a lot of his mass. Austere does go down over here to Fate. The medic actually does get left alive, though. Meanwhile, we see Toby over here clearing out some cannons, consolidating some vision, and maybe farming some minerals. Probably preparing for the Orphan kill. Terror, I think he's forgotten to gas, unless he grabbed... No, I don't know what Terror's gas is doing right now. Palando, as Toby called out earlier, he has grabbed the Palando gear. I think he's trying to gear up for that really, really big Strong airball. But of course, losing Gore Kill does limit his potential ceiling for that airball. X is actually going in for Goblin Town, interestingly enough. Toby's asking for mercenaries. Oh, for Saurline, okay. They're going in on, I believe this will be Erenborn. Yep, they know that it's being gassed for Protosser. Wants to nip that in the bud. And yeah, with nobody in the area to contest, this is going to be pretty much a free kill. Now, Dwarf Yor is going to be kind of traded out for this, as well as nothing else, I think. I don't know. I don't think Good actually has any other targets right now. They're caught kind of out of position there. Goes for Fiefdom Development. Didn't actually finish the gash on Warpink. And Ranger Encampment is being gassed by New now because Numenos went down earlier. Now these are really slow gasses for him, so it's not the best position, but it's a very safe spawn that's very out of the way and difficult for people to find the time to actually kill. So he's going to be in the game for quite a while. Goblin Town does go down to Exo. Celeborn finishes it off. What we're seeing though is a Amar Plains gas and a Gundabad gas as a Graham transition. Hordes did come out, by the way. That does involve quite a lot of extra mass for Exo here. Toby's starting to get mad at his team. Very, very classic Toby, I will say. But that just involves a little bit of extra entertainment for us. As Amar Special Transport does go down to New. A little bit out of position there by Kexilus. New Arb kill. Write that down. And now the final gas on Mount Graham is being gassed. This gives 7 units, a very, very strong gas. Again, probably overtuned because they're bounced around being 240 seconds. But the thing is with Mount Graham, despite it being very strong in the early game, it does typically require a second Evil Arb to be hovering around in the area. So it does kind of constrain the Evil mobility if they don't want it to die instantly. Because if they notice a Graham gas, still like Good will typically go in for doubles to try and take it out, either from the top side or maybe it's the bottom side from the miners. While Ended Wife is being gassed by Fate right now, he does not have a lot of options anymore. All of his gas has been correctly identified and stripped from existence in this game. And Ride gets called out. Exodus indicates his potential favorability to that strategy with that little smiley face of his. And we might be seeing a Ride game. I think it would be a pretty strong buy here. He just has to be careful with this little stretch where Worldfrindle is a bit exposed, but and also like this kind of area of Starbad as well. Elrond does get warned. This ride has begun, I mean. We are seeing Orphank being taken out by Fate. I think this is going to be spawn dying. Terror maybe it was a good call then to not gas it. I'm not quite sure. We also do see fiefdom development being gassed by Terror, but look at this. Terror's like mass presence is just so much less than it otherwise would be, is the thing. It's the half-hour mark. That's typically when like Gondor's really mature. So like I think by delaying Autonomy so much, he kind of just like stifled all of the early game benefit of it for like a weaker late game. But granted, he does have pretty strong elites here, so we'll see what happens. He has a pretty formidable hero ball for sure. Now, Good has to stay up over here to make sure Evil doesn't swoop in and deny Glorfindel. But actually, I don't think Evil's going to make any attempt at denying Glorfindel. Instead, they're going to counter with Balkov Host. Does get it. And what's going to happen here then is probably... Oh, Warping didn't go down yet. We might be seeing a Lumber game, maybe? I'm not really sure if it's the best position for them, but Orpink is about to go down for them, so it's an option. It's an option. Hex does actually come down to poke at the top side of Tharbad. Good is going to sacrifice a little bit of those Tharbad defenses just to camp Glorf a bit harder. But instead, they're actually going in on the south side of Lothlorien, but Terror is in the area to try and counter this. Palando gets some shots taken at him. Witch King does, Morgamir does, Kamul actually goes down over here. I'm not even sure to what, but all of Good has actually recalled in now. All 4 versus 3. This is a huge team fight involving every faction on the map. Orpindel has arrived in Rivendell, and Evil pulls out with so much of a Good presence now coming to defend. And now, Elves is being funded everything. Are we going to see Twins? Yes, indeed, we see a Twins this game. I think this is the first time we've ever seen a Twins buy in a competitive game on cast. It's a very... I would say it's very strong, but it's typically non-essential. And Ride is also very uncommon anyway, so we don't see it very often. But it's basically 2, like, slightly weak heroes, but for the price of 1. 2 heroes for 7,500, like 4,000 each. I think these guys are quite valuable just because of that extra range, making it so that they're pretty hard to kill. Good speed, good range, middling damage kind of, and HP, but you know, 2 heroes, they're effectively 4k each. That's pretty nice. And now Cardalin and Arthurdane have much better staying power. I say that as Cardalin actually goes down there, but New is now going to just chase down those heroes. Toby is going in on Lothlorien again. I think this is going to be... Yeah, I think that is going to be Lothlorien going down. But a special transport does go down by Protosser. And really, about the Twins, like, it's nice on Arthurdane, but it's so good on Cardalin because you really, really value your hero power on Cardalin. You typically have a lot of mass, but not enough heroes to really leverage that mass with. And a high-range hero like Elro here is a perfect fit into the Cardalin hero ball, even if he is like a little bit understated. Protosser ARB kill, 1. Lots of ARB kills, almost exclusively by Good this game, actually. Lothlorien does deploy Haldir. I think Exodus wanted that hero before he gets denied, which I think Exodus has kind of constrained himself to. He's kind of given up Lothlorien as kind of an inevitability. Maybe he wants a Amon Link by now, though, especially since Hellborn is still alive. Interestingly, he doesn't go for Mythline, he actually goes for Lothlorien instead. I am wondering if we are going to be seeing a Foreign Legion bot this game. Terror is just grabbing Expeditionaries instead of anything else, so maybe he's grinding the money for it. I'm not sure if he got the gas required for the Foreign Legion yet. Ooh, that's a lot of mass build, and those little time to life units popping out of the acid bomb as well. That's from the upgrade at Ram. Hordes of Malgram modifies the acid bomb to spawn units. Walder does get trapped by that and taken out. LoTR almost going down, but I think Arvileg's arrows are off CD or not off CD. Does not get that sniped on LoTR. Good defense by New here, keeping his territory alive. We also see Ranger Outriders coming out very soon in 4 minutes, a little less than 4. So, New's mass composition is actually pretty strong right now. Like Evandim and Ranger encampment, I believe that's like 15 units a cycle. That's enough for him to have a formidable presence. You know, we do see a double over here. I think they're going to start poking at this bottom side of Graham, start poking at Edmore's. Thing is, in the late game, Graham kind of forces a evil hero, or not hero, evil art to sit near it, and it's not necessarily just Angmar's, because of just how much investment there is into this one single spawn. And that freeze comes in. Lots of the bottom-sided cannons are down now. I think Terror can just kind of rat down here with Azrahill and probably take out the spawn over time. Exo's actually going for Dol Guldur right now. He really wants that Amon Link buy for that Haldir and Celeborn buff. He also did actually get no, this is from Loss of Galadriel. I think Austin Heal's buys did not go through yet. We don't see Eregium and we don't see the buffs on Protosser's Mask. But with Rivendell, Eregium's a very strong buy. I don't even think it's worthwhile to go for Amon Link right now. I think it's good. I think it's best to go for... Oh crap, Elrond goes down though. Unfortunate for Exodus. Not the worst, but definitely kind of dampens his melee ball. Also makes Eregium slightly worse, but I think still a pretty good buy right now. What we're seeing over here as well is Protosser trying to poke around the edges of the Etmors, kind of prep it for a kill later on. They are going for Amon Link. That was apparently the actual goal from the start. Fate does preemptively recall out, but not Kexalis, and Exo will be finishing off that ARB. Exo ARB kill. No medics, curiously. Or maybe people just haven't been calling it out. Obi, very jealous of how much money Exo is receiving right now. Typically, he gets all the money on his team, so he's a little bit miffed. Exodus does quite have very deep coffers right now. And Amon Link really synergizes very nicely. He actually grabbed Nandor. I didn't notice that. That's why Celeborn's had that buff. We might be seeing a ultra buff Celeborn with all three of his upgrades: Loss of Galadriel, Nandor Herofights, and the Amon Link buy. Now, I say that as Lothlorien does get dropped in from the back. Exodus does come in, but I think it might be too little too late. Actually, no. With the shields from Nenya, they actually do not finish it off. Exodus's super strong elites live to see another day. If he gets Valiance of Amon Link, it might be like almost over for him, or for Evil, because now Exodus's ball is going to be super strong. Celeborn is going to deal a ton of damage, and he is going to be a beast. Scorpion does get bought in the southern side, or the western side of the Blue Mountains. Or not the Blue Mountains, the western side of Evendon. Northern side of the Blue Mountains. We do see New over here, sitting around by the Ranger encampment. I think he might be concerned that Amar is about to go in for his last spawn. Wants to protect that spawn because, you know, it's still pretty respectable mass. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units per cycle. That's not insignificant. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing a push on Edmors by Terror. But Fate is already in the area to respond. Terror gets beaten back almost immediately. But Exodus is also up here, and with his super strong elites, he can actually right-click cannons pretty effectively right now. He's actually going for Ice Marine right now, and Siege Masters are out. So that's actually a lot of the gas on Kexalis, potentially up for a denial. Meanwhile, New actually is facing off against Kexalis. Kexalis has decided to try and end the Arcanine spawn presence on the map, but this is very treacherous terrain. I typically don't think it's very worthwhile to push down here. There's typically much better targets, like Arcanine is vastly more exposed. This is kind of a quagmire that Kexalis is signing himself up for. Bram actually has gone down. That's the majority of his mass now gone. Ice Marine is also at Brett, so that could be the last half of his mass gone soon. And now Kexalis has been completely kneecapped. His supply chain, his military industrial complex has been completely decimated. There was also killing off Fornos. He might actually manage to aggro in Morganir if he tries. I think he might try, I'm not quite sure. But Toby calls out Morganir, so that probably means the Kexlis is not going to get Morganir killed. Meanwhile, Kexlis is still sitting up here. This is so much opportunity cost by making this push. I don't really like this play right now. New can, with these like super oppressive chokes right here, New can just kind of defend indefinitely. This is really not the play for Kexlis to be doing right now. What is happening with Kexlis? Yes.
Our allies are being attacked.
Valiance does come out. That is going to be a hyper buff for Kellamore. Let's take a look at his stats. 2 extra damage, I think it was. Lots of HP. Look at that HP on that armor and on that boost speed. His damage is still kind of middling, but he is a very, very mobile and very durable hero now.
Our allies are being attacked.
And now Ammon Link is being gassed even more. Martial Wardens are coming out. Yeah, Haldir being a hero is also a pretty big factor now. But Exo still should be a bit careful. He's still on level 1, and he has still quite a while before he's at a decent survivability. Oop, Durin does go down in that fight. Kexlis just goes in and dives on him. I assume the shield was off CD, or on CD, I mean. So he just kind of got popped. That does actually make the late game option of Blue Mountains a little less, well, gettable. So that is a potential late game, like, stronghold kind of done. But I don't really think the good faction really needs to aim for one of those right now because they are doing very well in the open field fights. Rolando is being clicked, and Exodus now, with Yasu's entire hero ball running back, Exodus can actually just like click the mass and kill a ton of mass. Eigendar actually does get chased down, and Polando, Misty Mountain's Arb also does get killed at the center of the map by Terror, and that mobility advantage that Exo had just completely decimated Toby. Let me write down the Terror hero ARB kills. So many ARB kills by Good this game, and almost none by Evil. I think one went down. Toby does say that he is being outmassed. He is kind of, that is true, like, Exo's mass is much, much higher quality, but also Toby immediately lost that engagement, I think, when he ran back his hero ball, and Exo could just focus on all of the mass without any repercussions. I kind of learned from Nisashi and Three Houses about this, but I think it still really applies to like all loaders. But it's like people kind of undervalue the amount of like the cost of microing their armies and dancing their armies around. Because when your army's dancing, for the most part, unless you have move while attacking units, it's not attacking, obviously. So what that means is that you actually lose so much potential damage when you are dancing and trying to like micro your heroes or micro your entire army that you could have spent attacking the enemy's mass and getting their mass cover down. So I think it's like kind of an insidious killer kind of when you dance too much. You have to be very mindful about that. We are seeing a double on the actual Lothlorien spawn. Exo's super strong elites might get denied here, but once again, he has allies come in to chase them off. Evil just has no real bunker busting capability right now. Exo has such a strong mass ball that they have a very tough time pushing into Exo without losing a ton of their own mass, and then the miners and other allies of Exo just have so much mobility in the meantime. They can just rat around, they can flank to deny those pushes, and Evil just has such a positional disadvantage right now. Especially if Protosser gets this ARB, not quite, Fate is paying attention. Toby wants 5k for his second ARB, that really pushed Evil even further behind Good, because Good has not lost almost any ARBs. I think one ARB went down. And I forget whose ARB it was, but it seems to have been rebought. Oh no, it was Exo's ARB, and then he got it back through grabbing Rivendell. Meanwhile, though, Kexlis is going in again on Lothlorien. They have a chance of getting this again, maybe. We'll have to see. Also, look at these Warriors of Lorien with 4 shield armor, tons and tons of damage. really, really strong when you get Valiance of Aim on Link. Meanwhile, they are going to grab Soothberg. Error, that is his next buy. We also do see Eamon Mule about to be actually about to get things. It's not being maxed yet. He did grab Citizenship for Service, but that gas hasn't been unlocked yet. Yeah, the Koreans really do like buying Eamon Mule. They think it's very strong, and granted, it is very strong. They really do like those things. And now Agrelond and Soothberg are out. This is the transition for Eamon for Terror. I think they actually don't get grade routes first. I think they grab the I forget what it's called, the Keepers of the Gap, the new upgrade, because it massively buffs his surveillance and border patrols. Although now to say that, he doesn't have that many of those anymore, so maybe not. Maybe they grab trade routes first. We also see New kind of sitting around right here, biding his time healing up. Where is his ARB? His ARB is over here. I think he's going to go for maybe a push on Cardoon or possibly Amar. I'm going to quickly take a second to just tab out and double check my recording. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'm back in. Oh wow, there's a lot of people watching. I thought there would be less people watching. We do see a medic being bought on LoTR. Oh, somebody killed Exo's medic earlier, but nobody called it out. Who killed Exo's medic earlier? Oh, Kex did? Wait, have you been getting the intel this entire time? I thought I told you to deafen. Oh, you killed two? Okay. Austin does go down over here. Pretty opportunistic snipe by Fate, and yes, that is going to be most of Protosser's mask gone. Now he still does have Londire, but that is going to be so much of his mask just vaporized. So we're having a little bit of lag right now. I think it's just because I just tapped in, but yeah, Exodus is just poking away at all this mass. I don't think this is the right play. Kexalis is... Oh, Skorgrim goes down there as well. But Kexalis just wasted so much of his mass there, and he is starting to really run out. He cannot be wasting his mass on kind of like pitiful... Or not pitiful, futile pushes like that, because all this damage on LaFlorian gets regenerated away. You need... With Nenya up, you need a concerted push or it's not going down. Meanwhile, we do see Miflon being the next target for the evil team. Protosser bemoans the rat life, but you know, it's a pretty nice position to be in, having these three heroes. Our hero makes it so much nicer, I will say. And he has respectable HP now, basically comparable to Aaron Vorn, so he has a much lower chance of like dying to death. Now the next buy is actually Gladden. They aren't going for the mineral buys on Soothberg and Agrelon, instead just grabbing the extra hero. Amar Special Transport does go down up over here. Who killed?
Our allies are being attacked.
New getting another here ARP kill. Lots of ARP kills on Evil this game. Bases are dropping everywhere. I think this might be Kex. I don't know why they're doing this in all chat, but
It's a Toby special. Toby and his teammates always flame each other in all chat. When you know it's getting bad.
yeah, for sure. Also, look at these mass units. Easternly archers are a very nice substitute for surveillance. Actually, they're a bit better because they deal more damage, although they have a lot less HP. Terror's starting to really spawn mass now. He is back at the point of having respectable mass quantity. With those strong elites from Litfnui, and also those strong elites, and just mass in general from Eamon Mule. Kexalis is being chased down. Celeborn has to be a little bit careful, but he is going to live here. Terror actually just kind of chasing into the ball. Yeah, we are going to see Kexalis retreating over here. AS Marine did die earlier, I believe, to Cardinal riding it out. Yeah, the rat pressure really did a lot, and now Tubi's trying to go for Ranger encampment. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Ranger encampment's mass is so, or not mass, terrain is so oppressive that is a huge trap to try and push into it. I'll also say though, News Guardians of Eminem actually still alive even after the spawn died ages ago. Good preservation on his part. We also see a bit of fighting in the north here, actually. Exodus now with the mass power to just push into this choke. LoTR getting a little bit low, and yeah, just look at this mass by Exo. Like, he doesn't have the best hero power. He has like Celeborn and Kirdan, that's it. And Heldir, I forgot about him. But look at the amount of super strong mass he has. Nandor, Herofights, Nandoran Scouts, Dwarven Lords, Galadrim Warriors also are not to be underestimated. And his melee mass is super, super tanky as well, and deals a bit of damage, although I'm not sure how relevant that part is. Exodus does, of course, have eyes, does come in to respond, and this is basically a push that's dead on arrival. Yeah, he has so much mass right now, and he has the option to cast Agrelon. It really is very grim for the evil team at this point. They were also grabbing phalanxes of Rune now. Yeah, look at that mass from Eamon Mule. If you compare that to, say, like maxed, I don't know, Lambadon mass, I think it's like a league stronger. Now, it seems like Good is prepping up for a decisive push now into the Evil Heartlands. Rumgar has come out. Really strong terror hero ball as well now. 5 heroes. Exodus is actually very content just pushing into this. I think this is very winning for him because he has so much. He has a very nicely compact damage with his air ball. He also has Heldir Splash. This is definitely a winning position for him to be attacking into, as long as he doesn't lose too much of Warcash's Slash. Because, again, it's a 4v3, so if he can just distract one faction up here, that's a 3v2, and EM has no mass. Now, you have to be a bit careful here. Actually, does he lose something? No, he doesn't lose something. He actually gets that kill. He also gets a second kill. He might be getting the third kill if he is lucky. Not quite. He recalls out before he has the chance of looping Malvagil, but that is still a very nice 2-for-1 there. Good target analysis by New, knowing that there's a good chance he might be losing Argleb anyway, so he just goes in for that trade with that masterful positioning of that force field. Or maybe not masterful. It's still like, it was fairly obvious, but it's still a very good play. He'll be having spelling issues, but trying to reminisce about this class struggle in this game. You also see a lot of mass coming out of Rivendell, also not something to underestimated. Now what would be really funny is if we got like Wyheer, because at this point I think Good has it in the bag, but like a BM by like Wyheer would be really funny. Agrelon getting another gas into it. I think that's the last gas it has. Yeah, even more mass coming out for elves. I think at this point, like, Exo's starting to get supply capped. He, like, doesn't know what to do with his mass. Western Gondor is also, like, getting, like, mass that's comparable to, like, late-game Rally Gondor. Like, look at these Ruradine Warlocks. Look at these Thanes. The phalanxes are okay, I guess, but definitely not, like, insignificant. They might be grabbing Framsburg as well. Framsburg drops, I don't know how Evil tries to like handle it at all. You see Toby's Arb over here getting poked at by this archer, so I think they know that Missy's coming down. I think they want to finish off Protosser. Rumgar goes down diving Amar, so that is, well, Amar's spawn is, main spawn is now gone. I think the last spawn now for Evil is just Gundabad. Yeah, Framsburg did get denied, but I'm pretty sure that's still very, very worth for Good. Protosser discussing grabbing Finnis instead of Bree. I don't really think it matters. Just do what your heart contents at this point. I'd grab Finnis here just because it has a better chance of getting gases before the game ends, given the faster gas speed. and Terror. I think, yeah, if Good just supply caps at this point, like just waits for the supply cap, I think they just win. LoTR not going down, that was close. Also, Witch King not going down, but Morgamir does go down to those arrows, I think it was.
Our allies are being attacked.
Map widespread. Now, Toby is going to right-click on Mifflin here. I think he is going to grab it. Yep, the cannon target is not going to be enough. Good pick off by Toby, but I don't really think it matters. Mifflin has 0 gases. That was like the least important spawn, actually, on
Our allies are
Exodus's
being
ball.
attacked. Our allies' base is under attack.
Adriel goes down on the north here, so that is going to be the first hero loss for Terror this game. Yeah, Kex is a little bit of a rat here for like staying into VC, but given that I'm pretty sure Evil's lost at this point, I'll overlook it. Yeah, it is very interesting like how Evil lost this, because I think they had a pretty good momentum in the early game. I think like getting Ost denied over here really hurt them. I think also they spent a bit too much time attacking near this area and letting Exo build up in the... Yeah, if you guys... I think watching the Gunda kill would be nice. I don't think this would take too much longer. Twins have 60 kills? No, wait. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, Twins were at value this game, it seems. 60 kills on Arvaleg, 26 kills on Aoden. I assume Elro here is the one with 60 then. Also, Protoss are building up those sailors. Where is the orange here? Ball? 35. Oh! Both. Okay. 60 total. Oh, it seems like they are going to be going for Sufberg right now. If we kill Loth, a moral win. Okay. I think they're going to go for the moral instead of letting that final hero fight at Gundabad happen. I think though, if like Good literally just like drops all of their arbs into the north, they just can click on the spawn and win. And that might be what Terror is trying to do. He is going to sack his arb even for this. Technically, that's an arb kill for yes, but I think I'm just going to not count that effectively. And with that, Mount Gundabad goes down and Good wins the game. Good job, Good with that final dive. GG.